All right, this video is going to be about the last two stages in Freud's stages of psychosexual stages of development. I am actually going to be able to fit two in one video for this one. So our fourth stage, going after the phallic stage, we have a stage called the latency stage. And this is like your elementary school age stage. This is about age 6 to puberty. And why is it called latency? Latency means hidden. What is hidden? Remember all that sexual turmoil that had to be repressed and pushed down into the unconscious from the phallic stage? Well, that's what is latent. There's no sexual stuff, essentially, during the latency stage. This is also why there's no erogenous zone. Right? Latency is a time when you're kind of free from sexual conflict, free from the distractions of seeking sexual desire, sexual pleasure. Remember, in Freudian sense, that could just be bodily pleasure. And so this is a time for going to elementary school, learning things, hanging out with same-sex friends. You're not really interested in the other sex. And Freud would be very heterocentric, Victorian times. And you're just kind of waiting around for puberty, essentially. And so you grow, you learn, you hang out with the same sex, and it doesn't have the conflict that you'd have with other stages because of this sort of freedom from sexual desires. Now, what about the next stage? What about puberty? Puberty, guess what puberty does? Puberty brings all of that repressed sexual stuff to the forefront, and you got to deal with sexuality again. Puberty forces you to think about sexuality because of those bodily changes and those urges, those hormonal surges and whatnot that make you confront your sexuality. And so this is called the genital stage. The genital stage, the erogenous zone, are the genitals, which are going through puberty and going through changes. You're getting pleasure from sexual maturation, essentially. And so your focus is redirected to appropriate targets, meaning your focus of sexual pleasure is focused on getting a sexual partner, dating, finding a marriage partner, things like that. Now, if that doesn't happen successfully, this could lead to someone who is an adult who cannot function well in work and love. All right. So I said less about those stages. There's less controversy in those stages. Students typically have more interest and more questions about the first three stages in Freud's psychosexual stages of development. All right. This is going to be the last specifically Freudian stuff I'm going to talk about. The next thing I'm going to talk about are folks called neo-Freudians, people that came after Freud that didn't agree with him on everything, but sort of grew out of the tradition that he started.